Assalamu alaikum dear students, and welcome back in another session of my video lecture. So in today's video lecture I am going to start with the new chapter from your 12th standard physics textbook, that is chapter number 10, magnetic fields due to electric current. So today's lecture is a part 1 of the same chapter, and inshallah in today's video lecture we will discuss only the introduction part of the same chapter. But before start with this new chapter, let's recall some points that we have already studied in standard 11 or in your previous classes. So let's start one by one. So here we go. Do you know that a magnetic field is produced around a current carrying wire? Yes, we have already studied this thing in standard 11. So let's see how a magnetic field is produced around a current carrying wire. So here we are having one experiment. Let's have a look through a video. In 1820, a Dutch physicist named Hans Christian Ørsted made an accidental discovery which opened up a whole new branch of physics that explored the relation between electricity and magnetism. In this video, we will explore what this discovery was and what were its implications. So as the story goes, Ørsted was doing a demonstration in his lecture in which he had a copper wire through which he would pass some electric current. And on his table there happened to be a tiny magnetic compass there. And what he found is when he ran an electric current through that wire to perform some experiment, that magnetic compass deflected. That's it. This was the experiment that led to a great discovery. Now before we talk about what it was, let's go ahead and repeat that experiment. And so to perform this experiment, all we need is a wire, a battery to pass electric current through it, and the magnetic needle. Once we connect this, once we close the circuit, a current will pass through it. And just take a look at the magnetic needle. Alright, here we go. Now notice the magnetic needle is deflected. That's it. That was the experiment. You may be thinking that what's the big deal about this experiment? So what? Well, think about it. So far we could use electricity to create heat or light, but now for the very first time in the history of mankind, we have discovered that electricity and electric current can make things turn. Can you imagine what could be the application? This principle is used in fans, it is used in your washing machine, in your electric drilling machines, and so on. It's the same principle on which our ammeter and voltmeters works. Now inside which you pass a current and there is a needle that deflects and shows us the reading. So that was all about the Ørsted experiment. Now next to that we are having what is right hand rule. So you have learned in 10th standard that if a magnetic needle is held in close of a current carrying wire, it shows the direction of magnetic field circling around the wire. So let's have one video so that you can easily understand the hand rules. So this video will show you left hand and right hand rules, which is very useful to understand the electric and magnetic field and to understand the electromagnetism. Now here we can use a battery and a wire to create a current so that we can illustrate the concept. Now when the circuit is closed, so electron will move negative to positive, and the direction of the convention current will be, as you can see here, positive to negative. When the current will flow, So a magnetic field will generate across this wire, as you can see here by the blue color. If you hold your right hand like so, your thumb will show the direction of the current and curled finger will show the direction of the magnetic field. So this is called right hand thumb rule. Now, if we change the polarity of the battery, so it will show some other concept. Now here we need magnet to create a magnetic field. This blue line will show the magnetic field. Now when the charged particle passes through it, it will exert some force on it. Now to know the direction of this force, we need to keep our hand like so, that the index finger will show the direction of the magnetic field and the middle finger will show the direction of the conventional current. Now the thumb will show the direction of the force that will be exerted by the magnetic field on the charged particle. So this rule is called left hand rule. So these two rules are very useful to understand the magnetic field and electric current. Now next to that we are having, do you know the solenoid? So here is a video that with the help of this you can easily understand what is solenoid. So let us study what is a solenoid. An insulated copper coil is wound around some cylindrical cardboard or plastic tube such that the length of the coil is greater than its diameter. Then it behaves like a magnet. When electric current flows through it, it is called a solenoid. As you can see in this diagram, look at the figure of a solenoid. When an electric current is made to flow through it, then each turn of the coil behaves like a magnet. In figure A, current is flowing into the coil in clockwise direction. So the left hand side of each turn of the coil act as a south pole, whereas right hand side of each turn of the coil act as a north pole. In this figure B, current is flowing into the coil in anti-clock direction. So the left hand side of each turn of the coil act as a north pole, whereas right hand side of each turn of the coil acts as south pole. Thus, the situation becomes similar to the number of small bar magnets placed end to end with their opposite poles facing each other, such that they collectively act as a bar magnet. Thus, a solenoid behaves like a bar magnet. So, it is clear that if the number of turns in a solenoid increases, then the magnetic effect also increases. The magnetic field around the solenoid is similar to the magnetic field around a bar magnet. So this is all regarding the solenoid. Now, next to that, we are having next question that, can you compare the magnetic field due to a current carrying solenoid with that due to a bar magnet? So just now we have studied. Now let's see. So yes, we can compare both the magnetic and solenoid. So here you can see the first diagram is the magnetic field lines in a solenoid, and in the second diagram we are having the magnetic field lines in a bar magnet. So the field lines of a solenoid and bar magnet appears same in many ways. So here I am going to discuss with you some similarities. Then next to that, some dissimilarity I will discuss with you. So first, similarities. Number one, In both the cases, the magnetic lines inside the body is strong and uniform. Number 2, in both the cases, there exists stronger field at the poles compared to the middle parts. Number 3, in both cases, magnetism is caused by flow of electric current in circular loops, as you can see here in this diagram. Now some dissimilarities. Number 1, the pole of the bar magnet do not lie exactly on the end of the magnet but is somewhat inside. In solenoid, poles can be considered to be lying at the edge. Number 2, the magnetism retains in the bar magnet naturally, but in solenoid the magnetism is there, so long current flows through it. So this is how we can compare both magnetic field lines in solenoid and in bar magnet. So this is all the things that we have to recall. Now here you can try this. You can show that wires having currents passing through them, number 1, in opposite direction repel, and number 2, in the same direction attracts. So what you can do here, hang 2 conducting wires from an insulating support, connect them to a cell first as shown in the figure 1a and later as shown in figure B with the help of a binding post. You will notice that the wire in A repel each other and those in B come closer. That is, they attract each other as soon as the current starts. The force in this experiment is certainly not of electrostatics origin, even though the current is due to the electrons flowing in the wires. The overall charge neutrality is maintained throughout the wire, hence the electrostatics forces are ruled out. Now what is electrostatics force? We have already studied in standard 11th. There was a Coulomb's law for electrostatics forces, that the electrostatics forces of attraction or repulsion between 2 point charges are directly proportional to the product of magnitude of 2 point charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So that was the Coulomb's law that we have already studied in the chapter electrostatics in your previous class. So this all regarding the electrostatics forces. So this is what we have discussed here. This all part is the introduction part of the magnetic fields due to electric current. So inshallah, in the next video lecture we will start with our main topic of this chapter.